Hey, Red, you're making me wish I was those jeans.
Well, I wish I was your yellow hat.
Ellie Kemper starring in the Netflix hit Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, now gearing up for a third season. Ellie was a performer long before executive producer Tina Fey personally chose her to play the lead on Kimmy. She grew up in St. Louis, where one of her high school acting teachers was a local guy named John Hamm. The Mad Men star now appears with his former student on Kimmy Schmidt. Over the last decade or so, Kemper has risen through small theater improv, network TV, and big-budget movies, including her latest, the animated film The Secret Life of Pets. And she's done it all keeping her joy and Midwestern modesty intact along the way. I spent some time with Ellie as she gets ready to have her first child later this summer.
Okay, that's a good... Actually... yeah. Oh, dear. Yes.
How are we feeling about all this right now?
Feeling anxious. The days are numbered before I give birth. Don't know what I'm doing, but then I have to remind myself, no parent knows.
No.
Right?
No first-time parent has ever known what he or she is doing, ever. Unbreakable. She's Kimmy Schmidt, a blissfully naive girl in the big city.
This is a year-round Christmas store? You must be the happiest woman on earth.
I'm a man.
She was Erin, the quirky receptionist on The Office.
I haven't been trained for this. Okay, see you later.
And she was the innocent bridesmaid, Becca.
You smell like pine needles and you have a face like sunshine.
What?
In real life, she's another charming, bubbly character who everyone roots for. She's Ellie Kemper.
Well, Willie, the wheels aren't rolling. So, this is, I guess, how strollers work. So I guess there's a lock.
Good.
Nope.
Might be enough.
Whoa! Nay! We don't know the gender.
Let's go back to the beginning of Kemper. St. Louis Kemper.
Okay, St. Louis Kemper.
Tell me about the Kemper household.
Okay.
Funny place to be?
I always thought we were funny, but that's because that's what I considered to be funny. I'm sorry to be Pollyanna, but there was a lot of laughter. My dad has a more serious sense of humor. My mom, Dottie, is closer to, I would say, me in being animated and delightful. No, but just being a little bit more, how do I say this, alive. So she and I probably share a similar sensibility.
Where was the moment where you thought, oh, this is something I want to do beyond just messing around with my family?
Yeah.
This is something I could actually do.
That was not until college. In college, I joined an improv comedy group, as I'm sure a lot of college students, either a cappella or improv.
Right.
Ours was named Quipfire with an exclamation point, like firing those quips, Willie.
Really good stuff.
Clever.
Really.
Well, it was when I auditioned for that team and got on it and felt like, I'll just say, I felt like I was good at it. I felt like, oh, this is something I'm comfortable doing. I want to continue to get better at it.
So after finishing at Princeton and spending a year at Oxford for good measure, Ellie moved to New York City. What was the first gig in that world for you? Was it UCB? Was that first?
I started taking classes at Upright Citizens Brigade Theater and the People's Improv Theater.
Right.
And I got a commercial agent, and I booked a very lucky string of commercials.
Next time, go camping with a tent.
So I had been in New York for about a year, and I got an internship at Conan. My husband, Michael, was a writer on the show. So I got to know, we were friends for years from that. And then, you know how that story ended up. We got married, but like, you know, it ended right here. The sequel.
Her husband used to be a writer here. Well, he wrote sometimes when he felt like it, but he,
I had performed in a showcase at UCB that Lorne Michaels attended, and then, you know, 2 days later I got a call. Lorne Michaels wants to see you in his office in an hour, which is, I know, whoa!
I love hearing people's SNL audition stories. Was it terrifying? What was it like for you?
I feel like I had a very realistic idea of how it would turn out, which was that I wouldn't get it. So I sort of thought, work hard on this, do the best you can, but you probably won't get it. The other thing that was happening at the same time is that Michael, my husband, and I were sort of broken up at that point. But I called him for help on this audition, and it was so great getting to see him again that it was one of the best weeks of my life leading up to the audition, because he was helping me like write characters and work on characters, and I was just kind of like, like, you know what I mean? Like, you do the work. I was just so happy to be with him
Maybe
again.
that's why you didn't get the part. You weren't listening to anything he was saying.
By the way, exactly. I went out there and I was like, wait, what did Michael say to do? I had nothing. I think you maybe are on people's radars after that, like producers and agents and stuff. So after that, I signed with an agent who then put me in touch with Greg Daniels and Mike Schur, who created The Office, the American version of The Office. And I think that's sort of, set everything in motion.
Don't want to be busybody, but I don't want to be a lazy bones. Busybody, lazy bones. Busybody, lazy bones. Ah! My brain is ping-ponging around in my head right now. It's insane.
A planned 4-episode stint turned into a breakout role that lasted more than 100 episodes. Ellie began to land roles in movies like 21 Jump Street and Bridesmaids, which grossed nearly $300 million around the world.
Sorry. Let's start it again. I'm Becca. This is my husband. You don't have a husband.
Bridesmaids. Could you have thought in your wildest dreams about what it became?
No, because I remember I was familiar with all of the ladies' work, but no one, I would say, was like, I think this is fair to say, no one was like a movie star. Do you know what I mean? Like, even at that time, it was like people were well known, but not necessarily for being in movies. And I don't think anyone thought, I don't know, that they were setting out to make like a blockbuster, but I do think the response was surprising in a great way.
And another big surprise was just around the corner. Ellie's comedy idol called one day and said she'd like to meet.
I would be so nervous for these meetings, and just because when I first met her, it was just a get to know you, and then it was, okay, we have an idea for a show, and then it was filming the pilot, and then it was starting to film the series. And I realized when we started filming the series, Ellie, you simply cannot continue to be this nervous because your cortisol levels or whatever your brain releases when you're nervous, it's like it's gonna take its toll. You'll collapse.
Tina Fey didn't just cast Ellie in a show, she wrote one for her, starring her.
I don't need therapy. Yeah, you do.
It became Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, a comedy about a doomsday cult escapee starting life over in New York City.
Excuse me, Kimmy Lee and Hoda, first pun of the day, don't judge.
Sorry, not sorry, Titus.
So, Unbreakable Kimmy You knew that was coming?
You knew that was coming.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt picked up for season 3.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Thank you. I'm just so excited, to have a job for another year at least, and also to be able to work with those people. And then on top of that, I feel like we have the best writers around and, the greatest bosses. So I'm very excited to go back. You deserve to be free.
So when do you start up shooting season 3?
Sometime this fall.
Okay.
So I am having this baby this summer, and then it'll be, a little while after that.
You gonna get right back into it?
I will be totally candid. I am terrified. How does it work?
By the way, Ellie was my co-host on the Today Show for a run last summer, and the question people always ask me is, could she possibly be as joyful and cool in real life as she seems to be on TV? The answer is an unequivocal yes. Now, if you want to know why Ellie's not on social media and whether or not she'll be tempted to join to post photos of her new baby, check out our web extras at today.com/Sunday. And The Secret Life of Pets is in theaters this Friday.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.